here we are in beautiful Budapest, and we can see almost immediately the layers of history that have left their imprint on this beautiful city. The Romans, the Turkish, the Austrian Habsburg Empire, the Magyars, all of these people have left their influence on the culture, the music, the art and the architecture and the language of these people. So let's explore this lovely city. Come join us on our tour of Budapest as we explore its open air gardens, its luxurious thermal baths, and taste the delicious treats in the covered markets. Budapest's history is long and complex. It dates way back to the Old Stone Age and to Roman fortifications. In the 5th century, the Huns swept across the country with King Attila at the lead. Then came the Magyars, led by Prince Arapad. And then, around the year 1000, Stephen I, King of Hungary, organized a federal state on the Central European model and introduced Christianity. After the Magyars and King Stephen came the Mongols, who stormed the Danube towns of Buda and Pest in the mid-13th century. A few years later, there was the construction of the castle of Buda, ordered by King Bela IV. The royal court moved to Buda in 1347, and that is when Budapest became a royal town. While the castle of Buda on the high side of the river became the royal court, the town of Pest on the other side of the river developed into a prosperous trading center. If we fast forward to the middle of the 16th century, 1526 to be exact, we see that the Turks took Buda over, as well as Pest. Under Sultan Suleiman I, many churches were converted into mosques, fine bathhouses constructed, and defensive works modernized. In the 17th century, the Turks had lost control, and under the House of Habsburgs, and especially during the reign of Empress Maria Theresa, there was a further economic upsurge in the growth of Buda and Pest. Fast forward to the mid-19th century, and we see the beginning of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, when Emperor Franz Joseph I and Empress Elizabeth were crowned in the Matthias Church. (1872). stands out as a milestone in the history of Budapest, for it was then that 3 separate settlements of Pest, Buda and Óbuda were united. Budapest officially became the capital city of Hungary and underwent growth. This was the city's golden age and coincided with the Hungarian millennial celebrations in 1896. As a result of World War I and of World War II, Budapest suffered severe economic setbacks, which continued in the years between the wars. In the autumn of 1944, Budapest became a frontline town and suffered severe damage, especially in the castle quarter, where units of the German army were barricaded. From 1945 onwards, Soviet troops controlled the whole of Budapest and ruled it along strict Soviet lines. In the autumn of 1956, there was a political uprising, which was savagely put down by Hungarian and Soviet forces. Visiting Hungary today, we can see the remnants of the communist era, but by and large, Budapest is part of free and democratic Hungarian nation.
And the communists have nothing to offer but fat cheeks and eyeglasses and lying policemen. And the communists have nothing to offer but fat cheeks and eyeglasses and lying policemen.
Here in Budapest, it's easy to get caught up in the fun and enjoyment offered by this lively city. But somewhere along the way, there will be something to remind you, like an electric jolt, of the evils perpetrated in the past. This memorial, the shoe memorial on the promenade along the Danube, is one of the most heart-wrenching reminders of the Holocaust. Here, in 1945, Jews were marched to the river, told to take off their shoes, shot, and thrown into the river, where their bodies floated down to the sea, never to be seen again. So what message are we left with in looking at this, in some ways starkly beautiful yet horrifying memorial? Are we left with a message of hope or of despair? I feel that this memorial is a reminder that each one of us must speak out against evil in all its guises before we become victims of that evil ourselves. The Dohany Street Synagogue, or Great Synagogue, has a rich but tragic history. Completed in 1859, it has Moorish and Byzantine elements and is a vast and richly ornamented structure. In the tragic winter of 1944 to 45, thousands of Jews took shelter in the synagogue. Unfortunately, 7,000 perished and are now buried in the courtyard behind the synagogue. During the communist regime, many windows were broken and the Jews boarded up the synagogue. An ambitious restoration was recently completed, funded in part by famous Americans Tony Curtis and Estee Lauder, who are of Hungarian Jewish descent. The building's original splendor is now fully apparent. As we step into the sunlit courtyard behind the synagogue, we see a graceful sculpture of a tree with steel branches shaped like a weeping willow, adorned with delicate silver leaves. Then, stepping closer, we notice that there are 8 branches and that the branches are strangely contorted downward. Drawing even closer, we see that each leaf is engraved with a name on it. We circle the tree, whispering the names, knowing that each one stands for the 5,000 victims of the Holocaust buried nearby. On Friday night, we attended a Shabbat service given by the Jewish Reform community and were delighted to see these young, vibrant people singing and dancing and reviving the old traditions and yet still part of the modern city of Budapest.
Let us, therefore, throw off all petty jealousies and hatreds. Let us fill our hearts with love and tolerance and join hands across this wide expanse of space and make the dream and the hope of democracy a reality.
Claire and I would like to thank you for watching this video and sharing our experiences in Budapest and experiencing some of the insights that we try to convey of time and history in this beautiful, historic city.